Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.
Former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Defense Gela Bezhuashvili deeply believes that there is still a way out of the current situation in the country, as he told BMG TV. If the government continues to ignore this political crisis, the country will reach its lowest point. The political crisis is obvious, but the government stubbornly does not recognize it, which will lead us to an even deeper crisis than we are in today. Some are more radical and say that we are at the lowest point. In my opinion, we are not at the bottom yet. But if we continue to ignore the deep political crisis, we will reach to the lowest point. Any democratic government would take this seriously, would take into account the concerns of a large part of society, and would definitely take political steps to overcome the crisis and show the prospect of stable development, Gela Bezhuashvili noted. I cannot involve myself in politics, but I must emphasize that our country, businesses and the aviation sector all require peace and stability. If new elections are necessary to achieve these, then they should be held. Zakaradze, general manager of TAV Georgia, which operates Tbilisi and Batumi International Airport, said. Zakaradze acknowledged that the recent events in the country are directly affecting business operations. We have received inquiries and I'm keen to understand their perspective. Naturally, we all agree that the state must take action to address the current situation. A measure must be implemented to alleviate tension, and if compromises are needed, they should be made. As the airport manager, I can affirm that stability is essential for our operations. We will certainly utilize this platform to enable the business community to express our views. All of these directly impact our business, Zakaradze added. Some wine companies declare that the current situation in country, its isolation from the West, will negatively affect their exports in the future. As the company Papari told BMG, so far there have been no problems in existing contacts with Western partners, although no new agreements have been signed. According to the company's founder Zakaradze, if the processes continue like this, consumer interest in Georgian wine on the European market will decrease. We are now sending our orders to our partners abroad, but it is easy to predict that this will not definitely slow down in the future. For example, if Belarus via the produce golden tractors, European consumers would not be willing to buy them. When an anti-European image is formed for a country, this has a negative impact on consumer sentiments. The company that buys wine from us, even if it does not refuse cooperation, the mood of European customer toward Georgian wine will be lost. Despite the fact that we have good relations with our partners, the main thing is the consumer who enters the store and buys Georgian wine. This happened to countries with authoritarian regime, not only because the countries impose sanctions, but also because the consumer declared a boycott. Of course, this case, those winemakers and entrepreneurs who work in Western markets suffer now. We don't have new contracts. We don't even see where we can go and promote our wine. In fact, our hard work towards the West goes to waste, said Zakaradze. Protest rallies started since November 28, and recent developments in the country have already translated into economic crisis. Not only hotels but also hospitality establishments have found themselves in a difficult financial situation. Due to the fact that there are no guests in restaurants, the establishments have also had problems paying budget taxes. Restaurateur Gov't said in an interview with BMG TV that more than half of restaurants have failed to pay VAT, as they spend their funds to pay employees' salaries and cover other expenses. The picture is complicated. More than 70% of the businesses were unable to pay VAT because they use funds to pay employees' salaries, distribution debts, and cover the other expenditures, Gov't said. Ska Juice Bar has issued a statement responding to questions and criticisms raised in the public regarding the company's political views. As the company's statement reads, they firmly believe in and support Georgia's European future. Certain questions have risen in public regarding our political views. We would like to make a short statement in order to clearly introduce everyone to SKA's vision and aspirations. SKA was founded in 2019 with the support of our American partner. After that, in 2024, we opened 2 branches in the heart of Europe in Prague with the help of additional American investment. Our vision and aspirations were based on Western values and business practice from the very beginning. We plan to develop in Western markets in the future and are proud to have the opportunity and privilege to represent our Georgian brand in Western markets. We firmly believe in and support Georgia's European future. This statement reads, for most a week, the businesses have been demanding the release of detained activists. More than 2,000 companies have already registered on the platform freebusiness.g. SKA is not among them. Part of the public criticized those businesses that have not joined the platform yet. BKBK, a managing partner of Nutrimax, declares that he could not get an answer on his question, how does the government plan to ease the tension, at the meeting held with Prime Minister Irakli Kobakhidze. According to him, when asked what would resolve the polarization with the society, the government representative unfortunately did not have an appropriate answer. The Prime Minister talked about the crisis for a long time. The same thing we hear on television, that certain external actors, the global war party, are planning what is happening in our country, somewhere in Europe or America. I had the opportunity to ask the question how to solve the tension that is in our families, neighborhood or friendship. How does the government plan to get out of this? Unfortunately, we have not received an answer to this. There is no plan for this. The plan is to sort out the situation again in January, when external actors will no longer interfere in Georgia's internal affairs. Nothing new. Among them was the discussion of sanctions. The Prime Minister noted that naturally no one likes him and he also creates problems. However, all this will be solved after January 20, the businessman said. Beso Ortoidze, the General Director of ISPACE, states that new elections and release of detainees are necessary to de-escalate the situation. According to Beso Ortoidze, in order to de-escalate the situation, the necessary demands are now posted on freebusiness.g. More than 2,000 companies expressed their position that now it's important to urgently de-escalate the situation. For this, we have demanded new elections and the release of detainees. We will listen and probably get a response from them, said Beso Ortoidze. Consumer activity in the country is decreasing and there is talk of a sharp drop in sales in the retail sector. Some shopping sectors, hardware stores and online trading platforms say that they have had to adjust their sales plans for December, and the calculations that were made for most profitable months of the year have become unattainable due to the ongoing political processes. Hardware stores are also talking about a change in consumer behavior. This December is also their most profitable month of the year, although sales pace has slowed down here too. The head of marketing at ISPACE says that due to the ongoing processes in the country, consumers are refraining from New Year's purchases for now. According to Taktakishvili, if these processes continue, the effect of the current processes will become more apparent in 2025. Since these processes began, customer traffic has decreased, including demand and sales. We have suspended all communications since the first day of the protest, and naturally this had its impact. As for future plans, since it's December and the New Year period, there is still activity, but we have quite a few plans for 2024. We plan to open a new showroom for 2025. We are not just a hardware store, we also offer IT solution to our B2B customers. According to Gela, this sector has decreased by over 30%, and in fact, I can confirm that almost identical decline has been observed in our case, says Taktakishvili, head of marketing at ISPACE.
The Checkpoints is presented by pharmaceutical company GM Pharma.